I would like to welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. My name is Frank van Asten. I'm responsible for partners and the Microsoft Alliance in EMEA, actually over all three of our product lines. I will first start with some housekeeping, how do you call it, notices. We will be recording this webinar, and afterwards we will share the link to this recording to you or everybody that has registered to this meeting. We will also send the presentation to everybody. For questions, please use the Q&A section, and at the end of the meeting we will come back to all your questions, and we will also use those questions if we not can answer them for our topics for our next webinar or for our next newsletters. On the agenda today, we have a couple of topics. The first three are more sort of to introduce you to what we're doing today and to the team. We actually want to give you a highlight for our AI strategy, and we have a very useful tool for help you, well, understanding and also selling our CPQ solution. And the last part, we will go through some training, the trainings that we are organizing and the events, and then we will close off with a questions and answer session. So next slide. Then I would like to start all with a short introduction. This is the first Partner CPQ webinar. Maybe it's the first Partner CPQ webinar in a very long time, but we will call it the first Partner CPQ webinar. We will organize more of them, but we will get back to that. In this webinar, we will only focus on CPQ. Of course, we have two other product lines, document automation and digital commerce. We will organize separate webinars and newsletters for these. So if you want to be invited for those, please let me or us know and we will add you. In this webinar, we will focus actually on CPQ and the CPQ partners and our CPQ solution, of course, and I think you already know, focus on streamlining and digitizing the sales process. We want to reduce the errors and boost your customers' satisfaction, because it's meant for your customers. Everybody in this call wants to actually grow their business, and we would like to grow together as partners. That's our goal, and also why we are here. With this newsletter and also the webinars that we are organizing, we would like to give you more insights into how CPQ can help you to deliver added value to your customers, but also try to unlock together new market opportunities. And we try, of course, for our customers to turn complexity into commercial success. Now I would like to give the word towards Erwin, who will go deeper into the purpose of this webinar.
Thank you very much, Frank. I think most of you know me. First of all, I would like to thank you for joining this first quarterly partner webinar. Really happy to see that so many people are joining. So thank you very much for that. I would like to kick off by telling you something about the purpose of this webinar. First of all, we would like to explore the Experlogix ecosystem together with you. And like Frank already said, during this webinar, we would also like to show you how to deliver more value to your customers, and also help you to close more deals by adding this added value to your own solutions that you offer to your customers. During the webinars, we would like to tell you more about our product portfolio, partner program benefits, and also about our go-to-market strategies. Every webinar, we also reserve time for a live demo, which will happen today as well. And if we don't have a demo, we would like to deep dive a little bit more into customer stories, also to bring our technology a little bit more to life. So each time we'd also like to spend some time on a sneak peek on coming innovations. Today we invited Jan van Werkhoven to tell something more about our AI strategy. So thank you very much for that, Jan. Good that you're joining. And this is the first partner webinar that we are organizing, and our plan is to do this on a quarterly basis. So each quarter we like to inform you about the latest status of our, of where we are. And for us, it's an opportunity to keep in touch, for you also to stay informed and also discover new ways how we can support you as a partner. So yeah, for us, it's very, very valuable. I'm happy that you're joining, and now I would like to give the word to Elmar, who will tell something more about our beautiful team. You're muted, Elmar.
You're muted, Elmar.
Always the same with Teams. Thank you very much, Erwin, and thank you very much, Frank. Yes, a quick update. As you already understood from Frank and from Erwin, those are the first contacts that you have for your questions regarding our product lines. Erwin, as you know, is focused on CPQ, and if you have additional questions regarding that, as maybe as an up or cross-sell, Frank can help you with DA and digital commerce as well. So as Erwin mentioned, we would like to support you in any case if you have opportunities, sales cases, and therefore we have also a very strong sales rep team. I would say that we have Bert, Jen, and Elena as sales reps, and Peter Kessler as a senior solution engineering, so pre-sales. And we are a little bit divided into regions. For example, if you have sales cases or opportunities in the Benelux or in the DACH region, then Bert and Elena will help you. And for example, if you have something in UK and Ireland, then Jen will help you. So if there are other countries, they are also covered, but this is only an example. So reach out to Erwin, give the opportunities and lead details to him, and he will find for you the right support. Also, Peter can do presentations regarding demos, custom demos, and he is also helping you to get a better understanding of the requirement of your customers, so that we have a good view directly at the beginning of the requirements, and that we can then, in the sales case, fit our solutions to your prospects. So that is the idea. So feel free to reach out to us. We will help you in any situation, and we are looking forward to do sales cases together with you. Thank you very much.
Great, I think that's me now. As already quickly said by Frank, my name's Jan. I am the Director of Business Analytics here at Experlogix. I deal with our internal data strategy, our reporting analytics, AI, and I'm also involved in AI product development and seeing how we can use this technology in our various product lines. So I'm really happy to take you through some of the things we're working on and the thoughts we have about AI within CPQ specifically. We can go to the next slide. If we're talking about AI at Experlogix, we have this, these 4 pillars that we trust in. Well, we are very big partner of Microsoft, right? So all of our technology is built on Microsoft technology. So we have a big commitment to, follow along with the innovation that Microsoft is doing, both in their collaboration with OpenAI and also Copilot. So we are heavily investing on that area and building our solutions using the technologies that Microsoft is innovating on. We have a lot of options there. I'll talk a little bit about that later, but we want to integrate various options in the best way possible in the 3 different Copilot integration approaches that are available to us. And at the end of the day, it's really about enabling our customers, right, in terms of ROI, right, getting more out of our products, and being able to really deliver value, and making it easier for them to sell, right? At the end of the day, we are helping our customers create quotes to sell and do better business. So those are really the 4 pillars that we are thinking of in general in terms of how we are building our AI strategy within Experlogix. If you go to the next slide, looking at CPQ specifically, diving in a little bit more into the details, there's 2 main processes that are very interesting for CPQ. It all starts with, of course, when we get a new customer, is we need to build their model, as we say, the model which represents the process that we're trying to automate for the customer, be it a truck that needs to be configured or some services. We need to sit together with the customer can do it themselves, and define all of the different rules and logics and options and categories that fit into their often pretty complex quoting needs. That process is quite an investment, because often, if these processes aren't very complex, then you probably don't need a lot of CPQ. So we need to make sure that this is done well. Otherwise, the tool will not be fully useful. So there's a lot of work going on in there, and you can imagine that there's a lot of opportunity there to help streamline that process, in defining what rules need to be, what options need to be set, helping out with integrations. But on the other hand, once that is done, and we've built a very nice model that represents the business of the customer, then the actual work starts, right? Then the users of that model, they start creating configurations, as we say, right? They're actually creating the quotes, and they're spending time in our software, and we want to make sure that their lives are as easy as possible as well. So in those, though, we're thinking of solutions in both of these areas to help not only the modeling side, but also the end user that at the end of the day is building configurations. And I can give you a couple of examples of what you can think of. Move to the next slide. Right, as I said, automated and intelligent model building, where we really use AI to understand, for example, the business needs of the customer, automatically set up properties for different categories, really helping the modeler, be it our internal team or at the customer, to easily build the models and adapt these models. You can also think about things like analyzing performance, right? Often we are involved in quite complex processes where we are connecting with multiple host systems, be it CRM or ERP systems. Often there could be quite large changes that are being made, or a lot of rows that need to be written. Analyzing and making sure that performance is up to scratch, especially in high volume situations, is where another area we are investigating, where we think AI can really make a difference. Not only optimizing the performance, but also the initial setup of these integrations, making sure that we can automate mapping of fields that need to be set when we're writing data back or pulling data. And of course, more on the sales and the configuration side is helping to make recommendations. Often these models can get quite big with a lot of different options. It's tough for a seller who's using our tooling to know about all the options and interesting combinations. We really feel like AI can help recommend different upsell options and other things to add to the configuration to make it more compelling or profitable. And lastly, a very interesting example, because also one that I'm going to be demoing for you today, is actually natural language quoting, where you are interacting with our configurator, not through the interface necessarily, but actually through a more of a chat interface, where we can give commands to configurator to make changes, to create configurations. And that is very useful in situations where, for example, you may need to make a quick change. You're on the go, right? More of a ease of use, but it could also just be a quick command. You say, you go get a coffee, and when you're back, the change has been made. I mentioned a little bit about the options we have in terms of Microsoft technology that we can rely on. If you go to the next slide, I can highlight that a little bit. As you're probably well aware, Microsoft has a big collaboration with OpenAI. They own, I think, almost half of the company, and we're very happy of that because it allows us to use the OpenAI models, but actually deployed in Microsoft's own cloud, which makes it a lot more secure for us. But they're also building, of course, Copilot. Everything's called Copilot nowadays, but they offer a lot of tools to extend their Copilot, create your own ones, or actually using the baseline models like GPT 4.1 and building your own automation on top of that. We've been doing some prototyping, and we're in the process of developing possible first products that we actually want to implement. As I said, in a natural language quoting solution. If you go to the next slide, I can highlight that a little bit, how we are doing that. So the demo I'm going to show you will be coming from Dynamic CE, where on an account record or on the actual quote, you can chat to a Copilot, right? So from Dynamics in the window, you can give instructions to Copilot. That's really the first step. The next step is that we need to give the AI or the LLM model basically context about the changes we want to make, right? It doesn't know what are the options in the model. In our case, I'm going to show you a demo of our trucking environment, or trucking quoting environment. The AI needs to know all the different options that are available. So we need to extract that information, the modeling information, and give that to the AI with a set of very detailed instructions on how we want to define these changes that need to be made. We combine that with the query from the user, and we generate a set of changes that need to be applied to our configuration. That is then sent through our web services, or basically our headless communication platform that allows you to make changes to an Experlogix configuration through API calls. And then once that is done, we send a confirmation back to our chat interface. So that's just a very high level explanation on how we are doing these things. There's more technological stuff below, but I wanted to quickly tip the hat a little bit of the magic we're trying to do between quotations. So without further ado, I'd love to demo this for you. Hope everything goes well. It's always interesting with live demos, but I'm sure it will be fine. So here is a scenario. Here's our CE environment in this case, and I'm on this account record, and I'd love to create a new quote for a truck for this customer. I've got my Copilot window open, and this is where I can give it instructions on what I want. So I can tell it, let's create a new quote and a configuration. So Copilot is now basically deciding, hey, what are we actually wanting to do? And it should prompt me now with, hey, what should this quote be called? So it's now dynamically selecting based off of my prompt what we need to do. Let's see what it's working on. We're relying here on basically the routing that's within Copilot. So it should start understanding what we want before we actually start our process. It seems that might have a little bit of a demo effect going on here. Let me just quickly restart this for you guys. You can see that Frank wasn't and Aaron weren't lying about experimental. So we're really looking at the cutting edge of our development, which unfortunately sometimes means doesn't work exactly as you want. But I'm just going to try again. Let's create a new quote and configuration. There we go. So it's asking me for, yeah, the details. So let's name it a new quote for fourth coffee. And I want an EX 5000. That's one of our models in green. And let's do extended warranty. And extended warranty. There we go. So basically, this flow expects two things: one, the name of the quote, and instructions on what actually to change to the model. So it should understand that this EX5000 is actually a model type, that green is the color of the truck, and that we want extended warranty, which is an extra option. That's really the beauty of the AI, right? If we give it enough context about the model and the options that are there, it should be able to understand even, not actually specifically mentioning things, but actually understanding a little bit what we want. So here we can see we've got a new quote for fourth coffee. We've got our model EX5000, and we've got our extended warranty. And this gives me to the next phase is actually we can also update this quote and make changes. So we can say, for example, let's change this config. I want the baseline model, right? I want the cheapest, and also add cold weather options. Let's see if it can do for me. I haven't told it exactly which model I have, but it does have knowledge about all the models that are there. So it should understand, oh, they want the lowest model, which is probably the model with the lowest number. So let's see if it actually does that. That's a little bit for me as a developer of this, a bit scary part. You never know 100% if it will do it, but that's also kind of the exciting part of AI for me. So here you can see it's made these changes. It's given me a little summary. It's removed the EX5000 option and actually selected the EX2000 for us. And it's added not one, we have multiple options related to heating. So it's decided, hey, you probably want all of these options. So oil pan heater, in-tank fuel heater, heated mirrors, and heated steering wheel seats. So by giving the AI the right information about all the options that are available, it can decide for you based on pretty sparse description what it should do. It could also be a longer description. So this is one of the things that we're developing and seeing how we can actually get into the hands of our customers. This is one way we're interacting with this, right, through the CE interface, but it could very much be a chat experience on the phone, or it could even be another channel. You can imagine something like an email coming in to your sales department with a description of, hey, a request for quote, or a form fill out on a website with a description on what a customer wants, and that there's a first pass of this AI building a quote for this customer based off a description, which gets forwarded to a sales rep who can take it over from there, right? So there's a lot of these different scenarios around these this type of technology that we're thinking of. So happy that it all worked out with a little hiccup in the start, but that's all I had for you today.
Thanks, Jan. Then we will continue with Peter, that will give us an insight in a click-through demo that you can all use.
Yeah, thank you, Frank. I will start sharing my screen. Before I start, as you may know, what we typically do is we typically show actual live demos in all of our sales cases and customer and prospect interactions integrated with Dynamics, of course. So today I am showing you a click-through demo instead, and you may ask, what is the reason for showing a click-through demo instead of a live demo? And the reason for that is this is a demo that is specifically set up for partner enablement. So this demo that I'll show you right now will also be made available to you, so you can click through it yourselves, and you can also use this, of course, to present CPQ to your own customers and prospects if that need is there. So to start off, as you can see right now, I am inside Dynamics for Sales. And just to show that for us, the CPQ journey will always start inside Microsoft Dynamics. And so whether that's the CRM or whether that's Business Central or Finance and Operations, yeah, for us, it doesn't matter really, but we need to start from Microsoft Dynamics. So we created here already a empty quote, and you can see here where to start the configuration process in the menu. We're going to press the configure button to configure this quote, and we're presented here with the Experlogix UI that's of course specifically set up for every implementation completely differently, depending on the type of products and the sales process that needs to be configured. Just to show that in this case we have some guided selling implemented, so we're not just simply selecting a product. We can use information that is inside Microsoft Dynamics, and we can add additional questionnaires to arrive at the right product or product family for the needs of our customer. So where you can see in this case, the configurator has already pre-selected the EMEA region based on the customer. And you can select here semi-truck, short distances, and it has narrowed down the possible truck models to only these three. I will select the first one. Then we'll go into the next steps of the configuration process, where we can configure the drive line, interior, exterior, and options. We make all those selections here on the left-hand side of the screen, while the right-hand side of the screen is, in this example, reserved for showing a visualization, showing pricing totals, etc. So we can see here on the left all our available transmissions, and we can select a different engine by pressing the button over here, where it shows all the available engines we have for this truck model. So as you can see, you can include images, you can include any kind of technical information about these products, pricing, of course. And you can use this picker to search or filter or sort the different options. So right now we are going to add a filter here for the torque. We're going to type here, we need a torque of more than 2000. And then we can see we only have 2 engines available. We'll select one and add it to our configuration, where immediately after we've done this, the rules engine will trigger and will show that there is a compatibility issue. So we have selected a very powerful engine, but it's a little bit too powerful for the current transmission. We can acknowledge that, and we are then allowed to either manually resolve this compatibility issue, or we can allow the configurator to resolve it automatically, which is what is happening here. And we can see that this transmission is now added, and it has, of course, removed the previous one. We can go to the next step of configuring the interior, where we will add a sleeper cabin to the configuration. Again, some rules are triggered here that suggest to also include a liftable lower bunk and a refrigerator for the sleeper, and where as a user I can now either select or deselect these options. I will add them in. We can also see here that the visualization is updated. This is real-time 3D visualization. That is, of course, an option to add, that you can view these images from any angle. And yeah, of course, it will adapt to all the choices that we make inside the CPQ. We can, of course, also add discounts. In this example, we can give a percentage discount on the entire quote. So we'll just enter an amount, and based on the amount of discount, you can of course set up different kind of rules. And in this example, because of the high discount, we need to provide a reason for that. And we will also go through a approval process to get this discount approved. By pressing the Save and Close button over here, we will write back all the information from the CPQ back into the quote in Microsoft Dynamics. Or we can see already here all the line items are created on the quote, so that you can already view that. But we of course have to still wait for that approval process to be handled. If you press next here, we are very briefly switching to a different role. We are now in the role of an approver. They can get a notification, for example, via Microsoft Teams or Microsoft Outlook. All of that is available because of our integration to the Dynamics ecosystem, where we get a message here as the approver that says there is this quote with this amount, with this margin and reason. And the approver can go into the quote or can use a dashboard like this inside Microsoft Dynamics to navigate to the quote and navigate to the approval request. We will approve it here. And once we are back in the role of the salesperson, we can see here again an alert via Dynamics or via Teams that the discount has been approved, and we can continue to the next step. Of course, we want to present this quote to our end customer, so we are going to create a nice looking document, and actually we are going to start a document automation flow where you can present the sales user with all kinds of different options and how they want to create a document, how to deliver it, depending, of course, on the flexibility that is required. In this case, I will say I want to create a note in Dynamics to store the document. And let's take a minute to review the document. Uses all the information from the CPQ and from Dynamics. It can include nice images, line item overview, technical data, terms and conditions, etc. Of course, depending on how elaborate you want to make these quote documents. When our customer is ready to proceed to the next step, we can, of course, convert this quote into an order, which happens in Microsoft Dynamics, as you can see here. And once the order is created, we can also push all of that information from the CPQ into the ERP. So we can take a look here inside Finance and Operations. We could, of course, also do the exact same for Business Central, by the way. But in Finance and Operations, it might look something like this, where we have created a new truck configuration. And for that truck configuration, we also created here a unique bill of materials that we can take a look at. That is multi-level, and can be, of course, a lot more elaborate even than this small example. This concludes the CPQ process. So just a short recap. We have started the journey from Dynamics for Sales. And so we have complete sales integration into the opportunity, quote, and order, etc. inside the CRM. We have the possibility to add guided selling elements to the configuration process to really guide the user to the right products. We have, of course, rules validation inside the CPQ. We can trigger approval processing inside Microsoft Dynamics. We showed you a little bit of our document automation capabilities. And then finally, the creation of the bill of materials or any manufacturing data really inside the ERP. So very brief, very quick demo via this click-through demo that, again, will be made available to you as well.
Thank you very much, Peter, for showing this beautiful click-through demo. And as Peter already said, it's available for you. So that's the good news. So we will send you a proactive message the coming days how you can access this click-through demo, so you can also use it during your own sales processes. So thank you very much for that, Peter. So next topic would be trainings. So if you can go to the next slide. Experlogix has developed a number of training programs for its partners. And they're designed to empower partner and customers with practical hands-on trainings to understand, but also to implement and maintain our beautiful solutions. Normally, our trainings may include multiple partners and customers. They are delivered live and online. And they mostly offer hands-on personal training environments. So you have your own training environment where you can work on. Of course, trainings are most effective during an active CPQ sales case. So you can really, bring your experience, in live in a real sales case. And of course, the sessions ensure you're equipped with the right tools and insights to maximize the value of Experlogix solutions. If we go to the next slide, please. At this moment, we have 4 training courses. The Getting Started with Experlogix, the CPQ Fundamentals and Cloud Connect, and 2 Beyond Basics trainings, the CPQ Advanced Modeling Techniques and the Beyond Basics CPQ UX and UI. And on the next slide, I will deep dive a little bit more into those trainings. So our first training would be the Getting Started with Experlogix training. It's a basic overview training. It's a free course. It's meant for anybody who's new to Experlogix. And in this training, you will discover all our products and architecture behind it. You will learn some more about our key product and document modeling technology and terminology. And of course, you will get a demonstration of our products. So free course for everybody who's new to Experlogix. The second course that we offer is an important one. It's the Experlogix CPQ Fundamentals training. And this is a remote hands-on training course, which gives you in-depth training for new product modelers. And this training will guide you step by step through the whole building of a new CPQ solution. And after finalizing this course, you will also get a certification. So you're officially certified as CPQ builder. Next slide, please. Then we have 2 advanced trainings. First of all, the CPQ Advanced Modeling Techniques, a training of 8 hours that you can only do if you have completed the fundamentals training. This will be a hands-on remote workshop meant to improve your or the customer CPQ solution. Mostly these are tailored trainings. We can do specific use cases that we can where we can work on. And mostly these trainings, before these trainings will be done, we do some kind of a pre-course needs analysis. So we can really tailor these trainings to your needs or the need of the customer. Last but not least, we also have a advanced CPQ user experience user interface training. And this is is also a hands-on remote workshop. And it's meant to improve the user experience and usability of your CPQ. And with this training, you can take your interface to the next level. Also, again, tailored to your needs. You can use your own use cases, and yeah, it's complete training meant to improve your user experience. Okay. Next slide, please. If you want to sign up for a training, you can always contact me so we can discuss which training would be suitable for you. You can also go to Experlogix to read more information on all our trainings, to see all the details and also the schedule, because we already scheduled some trainings. We do that in advance, and you can subscribe to those trainings. Subscribing is easy. You can, of course, contact me or fill out the request information form. As I said, the first training is free. The other trainings you will get a quote, but of course it's always custom. So yeah, either you contact me or first you go to our website to get some information on our trainings. Next slide, please. The last slide for me for today is about events. Our team participates in numerous events. The coming weeks, we will be present at, for example, Compendial Connect, that will be tomorrow in Antwerp. Elmar and Frank will be joining the IMCP EMEA in Valencia from Wednesday to Friday. And next week, of course, there's this Microsoft Directions EMEA, which this year will take place in Poznan. We have a big representation of our team there. So yeah, we are looking forward to meet you in person. So whenever you're there, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Yeah, and we will give you a warm welcome. Maybe we can have a coffee or lunch or dinner together. And yeah, we're looking forward to meet you there. That was my last slide, Frank.
Okay, thanks, Erwin. Now I'm going to ask to be sure that if there are any questions, you can put them into the Q&A section. And if there are no questions, then I will proceed. And I can't see any new questions. So I think that everything was clear up to now. So
I see one question.
Oh, you see? That's interesting.
Fabio.
Then I don't. Yeah.
Fabio's raising his hand.
But I cannot unmute.
Caitlin, can you unmute Fabio?
I don't believe so at this time.
Fabio, if you have a question, maybe you can put it in the chat, please.
Okay. If I
understand that chat is not open, it's not available.
Then for now, Fabio, can you please then send it to us, and we will add it later, and we will also add the answer later. And unfortunately, we will do it next time. We will do it better.
I see a comment coming in the. So we can see your I can't hear you message, Fabio.
Oh.
Maybe you can post your question in the same way you posted that. We'll be able to answer it.
I'm afraid it's not going to work, Frank. So I think
no. So
Fabio,
please,
I will
everybody,
contact you. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to say. And so we will contact you, and everybody, you know really well how to reach me and Erwin for all your questions that come up later or that comes now. If you have suggestions, what you would like to see in these kinds of webinars, absolutely, please do not hesitate to send your ideas to us. We're very open to it, and would really like to incorporate them in our webinars. And with that, I would like to thank you and everybody that was present in this webinar. And we will send you the presentation and a link to the video. And I would especially like to thank our Caitlin also for organizing this whole webinar. You don't see her, but she's on the backside, our trusty rock that always organizes everything. And I hope that we will meet you on a next meeting, on a next event, or a next webinar. Thank you very much for being here.